All right, so today is Friday, the 22nd, TGIF, and we are going to do the warm-up. If you have any questions about the homework, please make sure that you ask. We're going to do for this week. Shh, guys, come on. Take out your packet. What was the other thing? Oh, cylinder. We're going to work on, I'm going to model for you how to find volume of a cylinder. And then you're going to take your short quiz. It's 5 questions on distance. Before you do that, you do need to submit work. Okay, so we'll do that after I do the teacher model. There's no homework, but if you haven't completed something, you need to use your weekend time to make up your work. Don't wait till the last minute to do so. Okay. And I'm going to, it's never homework on Friday.
I don't know why I'll be doing that.
Yeah, it's never homework on Friday. Not on Friday. Mm-mm. All right. So, but if you, of course, missing something, then you could use that time to catch up. I'm going to pause to give you a chance to write. All right. So now let's look at the warm up. What's wrong? You didn't write it? Come on, what y'all doing? Oh, okay. All right. Let me pause again. Okay. So let's look at the warm up, please. All right. A 50-foot cable is stretched from the top of the antenna to the anchor point of the ground. Okay, so we have an antenna and the cord is stretched from that to the ground. This is the cord right here. And it's the cable. And this is 50 feet. So I'm put 50 feet. And this is where it's attached to the ground. Okay. So then it says that the anchor point on the ground is 15 away from the base. So this is the base of the antenna, and so this is 15 feet. So they want to know how tall is the antenna. That's this distance here, from here to here. How do we find that distance? What do we use? Pythagorean theorem. So this is a right triangle. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And we're going to substitute these values into the formula to find the missing one. What do we label 50 as? A, B, or C? This is C. It's the slanted side to side, opposite of the right angle. And then what are we going to label the side that's missing? We can label it A or B. It doesn't matter. If I label this A, then label this B. If I label this B, then label that A. Okay? All right, so we have A squared plus 15 squared equals 50 squared. Okay? So now in order to solve, we have to simplify. All right? So how do you type in 15 squared? We kind of should know that one by heart. Yeah, you're good. 15 and then x squared is right here. Very good, babe. And what does that give us? 225. That's one we might want to know by heart. 225. And then we have 50 squared. What does that give us? What's 50 times 50? 25. 2,500. Very good. So now, in order to get A by itself, what do we have to do to get A by itself? Okay, good. We're going to subtract 225 on both sides. Say again.
And the Lord have mercy on him.
Yes.
Yeah, I was beginning to have a struggle saying that much number.
Oh, that's all right. All right, so when you subtract, this is gone, and we're left with A squared is equal to, and let's type this in, 2,500 minus 225. What does that give you?
222.75.
All right, 2,275. Okay, let us process. I'll give you a little time. Okay. Christian, you just stretching?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Some people I see are doing it. What do we have to do to get A by itself?
Square root 220.
Square root. Find the square root on both sides. So let's type in the square root. Okay, I'm going to clear my screen. I'm going to press the second button and the X squared button. And I'm going to type in 2,275. And that gives me this decimal. I'm going to round it to the nearest tenth. That's one space behind the decimal. So that's going to be A is about 47 point what? 7. Okay, because you round it to the nearest tenth place. Do you see it? Okay. And this is feet. That's about how tall the antenna is. I'm going to pause here to give you a chance to write. Okay, so here we go. Let's do this one. It says solve the following equation. This is a proportion, okay? It looks more complex because the numerator has an expression on top, but it's still a proportion. When you solve a proportion, you use cross multiplication. So we're going to cross multiply. This is important because you may see a problem like this on your test. So here you're going to multiply 3 times this expression. So we've got 3 times x minus 5. Bring down the equal. And now do this side. You have 2 times this expression. Any questions about how to write this? Okay. So now we're going to solve this equation. The first step to solving an equation is to perform distributive property. So we're going to multiply 3 times both numbers in the parentheses. What's 3 times x? 3x. What's 3 times a negative 5? Negative 15. Bring down the equal. Now we're going to distribute the 2. What is 2 times x? 2x. What is 2 times a positive 2? 4. All right. The next step is to combine like terms on each side. I can't combine these terms over here because they're not like terms. Nor can I combine these terms here because they're not like terms. So the next thing that we do is move the variables to the same side. I'm going to move the smaller one, the 2x. How do I move a positive 2x to the other side? Subtract 2x. Of course, when I subtract 2x here, this is gone and I'm left with just the 4 on this side, positive 4. When I subtract 2x from the like term here, it's just going to be 1x or x. Bring down the minus 15. Now, how do I get x by itself so I can find the value of x? Not division. Add what? 15? Add 15 to both sides. I'm going to do the opposite. The inverse of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 15 to get rid of the negative or minus 15. Now that this is gone, x is by itself. Continue to bring the equal sign down. And we have 4 plus 15. What's 4 plus 15? 19. And this is our answer here. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm going to pause to give us a chance to write. All right, any last minute questions about the homework? Did anybody have any questions about the homework? Did anybody have any last minute questions about the homework? Okay. Anybody? All right. So I want you to put this to the side because you're going to have to submit both the homework and the warm-up in a few. And I need you to take out the sheet from yesterday that I gave you on volume of a cylinder. And it looks like this. Okay? You also need your calculator. We already completed. We completed our foldable. This is the foldable. I need to paste it down. But this is the foldable we completed. So we worked on area of a circle already. And now we're going to volume of a cylinder. No, you just this sheet right here, babe. Okay. This is the formula for volume of a cylinder, area of a circle times the height. Yes, baby. Which this one? Yeah. Here, you can have this. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Hey, Miss Moore.
Wait, how you want to do this?
Yes, baby. Come pick this one up.
Yes.
You're welcome. All right. Here we go. Okay, so the formula for volume of a cylinder, we're going to put this on the top. V represents volume equals. What's the formula? Does anybody remember? I just told us just a second ago. Does anybody remember what the formula? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Mm-mm. For a cylinder. Pi R squared times what? Mm-mm. Height. Okay. The area of a circle. This is the formula for area of a circle times the height. And you could put, if you're not sure what to do, you can put multiplication between these. What number do we use for pi? 3.14. Okay. What does the R stand for? Radius. The radius. What does the H stand for? Height. Okay. Any questions about any of this?
Can I get a pencil?
You're welcome. All right. So let's do this, good folks. On because it's not enough room to really write on here. So let's take out our notebook. This is going to be page what? This is page 16. Yeah, all right. It's page 16. This is volume of a cylinder.
Is he gonna talk about this? Do we need to keep this up?
I already did that before we went to electives.
Oh.
Do you need me to remind you what that is?
No, I'll just read it.
Okay. All right, Q4. This is page, what I say, page 16, right? And this is volume of a cylinder. Okay. All right. Volume of a cylinder. We're going to pause it right there real quickly. We got to make this bathroom break very quick because we have a lot of stuff to do today. All right. So we are going to write our answers in the notebook. Okay. So we got number 1. This is volume of a cylinder. Okay. So we're going to rewrite the formula. V is equal to pi r squared times h. We're going to find the volume of this cylinder here. All right. Looking at this cylinder, we got V is equal to, what number do we replace pi with? Very good. Times, we're going to put a dot for times. What's going to be the radius in that picture? What's the radius in the picture? It's 6 inches. Very good, baby. So we're going to put 6 inches here. And in the formula, it's squared times. What's the height in the picture of the cylinder? 11 inches. So now we're going to use our calculator, type this in, see what we get as our answer. Okay. We have 3 and 1400s, 3.14 times 6, and we're going to square 6. The square button is right here, squaring 6, times the height, which is 11. Type that in, please. All right, now what does that give us? V is the volume is going to equal what? 1,243 point what? 44. And we got inches to the what power is volume? That's area. Third. Remember, volume is how many cubic units are inside of a figure or shape. Three-dimensional solid, I should say. Any questions? That's the answer. Yes, baby.
I did it, but instead of typing it 3.5, I just used the pi button.
Yeah, that's gonna give you a more exact answer. Okay. Here they'll tell you they want you to use the 3 and 1400 so the number's not so large. But you can use pi. It's not wrong. Huh? You put the answer on the paper. And the work in the book. All right, let's do the second one. Number 2. We're rewriting the formula again. This is how I remember the formula because I keep writing it.
Do we have like round these?
Because we're using 3 and 1400s, let's do 2 spaces behind the decimal. All right. So what do we use for pi? 3.14. Any questions about that? Times. What are we using for the radius in this picture? Which one is the radius? Very good. 24 feet. Even though it's sideways, that's still the radius, okay? And square it. Times, what's the height?
30 feet.
30. Okay, 30 feet. So now let's type this in to see what we get.
54.
Wait, you let people process, okay? So we got to type it in 3.14 times the 24 feet, square it, don't forget to square the radius, times 30. Please make sure you type it in correctly. Press enter. We're rounding it. We want 2 spaces behind the decimal, but this only gives us 1, so that's okay. So what's our answer here? 54,259 and 2/10. And yes, baby. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay. You're welcome. And this is inches to what? The third power. Are we okay? You see how I put this on my paper? Okay. Number 3. Rewrite the formula. You should be learning the formula. Know it by heart, okay? V is equal to, what do we put in the place of pi? 3.14. Times, what's the radius in the picture? 19 what? 19 yards. And we square the radius times the height. What's the height of that cylinder? 21 yards. It is. Now we're going to type this in. Okay. So we're going to type in 3 and 1400s, 3.14 times 19 squared. 19, the square button is right here. times the height, which is 21. Press enter. What does that give us? Very good. 23,804 and 34 hundredths. 2 spaces behind the decimal. This is going to be yards to what power? Third power. It's volume. That's how many cubic units are in that cylinder. That's a lot, right? This is how many cubes are in that cylinder. Number 4, they're asking for the volume again. Instead of pictures, they're giving you measurements. Rewrite the formula. Y'all have to move a little faster in the bathroom. That's too long. What do we use for pi? Very good, babe. 3.14. Or what's the radius? What's the radius? 3 what? 3 feet. And we square the radius. And put a dot for times. And what's the height that's given?
9 feet.
9 feet. I'm going to type this in the calculator. 3.14 times 3. Make sure I square it. Oops, sorry, y'all. And then times the what? 9. Good job, y'all. Press enter. What does that give us?
254.34.
Feet what?
Cube.
Feet to the third power. Very good. Anybody lost? All right. So I need you to do, excuse me, y'all. On this paper, I need you to do number 5, 6, and 7. I'm only going to give you a couple minutes because you know we got other stuff that we need to do. So please do these in your notebook. Do that now. I'm going to pause the video, okay? All right. Make sure that you submit your warm-up and your homework. We're doing that on Monday. Submit your warm-up and your homework. And then I need you to work on the distance quiz, okay? There is a, do you see the little whiteboard under your desk? You might need that to work out some of the problems. It's only 5 problems, but you might want to use it to graph. And I'm going to give you, if you need a marker, you're going to use that. I'll give you a marker. Just raise your hand. Yes, baby. Is that better? Any questions? Okay. All right. That's what I need you to work on. I'm going to go ahead and end the video because the only thing I need you to do now is submit your work and do the quiz. We did. Yes, we did all the warm-ups. The only one we didn't do was the one for Tuesday, the first problem in Tuesday. But we did all the rest of them. It's in the video. This is the only one we marked out. Okay? All the rest of them we did. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop. Any last-minute questions that I need to address before I stop the video? Everybody good? Everybody know what to do?